UsLiftingUs Economic Development Cooperative. What we're proposing is group ownership. In other words, not just group economics, but group ownership. And we're an international formation, again, UsLiftingUs Economic Development Cooperative, LLC, and our website is usliftingus.com. And brothers and sisters will see a master plan for how we can take control of the economics of our own community.
Why is it so important for us to have control of our economics?
Well, whoever has control of the economics controls everything else.
Yeah.
And we say we either control the economics of our community or forever be at the mercy of others. So if we're talking about empowerment, if we're talking about sovereignty, if we're talking about anything in terms of power, if we don't, what I like to focus and tell people, I don't know if you can see it here, but we have a flyer, and what those are $100 bills in stacks and packed together. Together it's $1 trillion. We say that we're committing a crime by not having our culture formatted so that we can take advantage of the potential wealth that's flowing through our fingers. And on the back of our flyer are the 10 points that we think are necessary to build that platform so that we can become rulers again. Not just wealthy and not just money conscious, but how can we build societies that are sustainable? I say, you know, and maybe it's not fair, but if we're not willing to take control of the economic, political, and cultural life of our community, then we should stop giving birth. Because why are we giving them birth if we're not ready to step up and perform what it is that is our job as parents and grandparents?
How can people start on an individual level or a family level to take control of their economics? What are some of the things they can do as individuals and as families?
Well, there's 3 things we say. Financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and business ownership. Those are 2. There's a 3rd one that we don't often talk about. There's no power in just financial literacy and going into business, because you don't have the cultural foundations for power. The 3rd one is group-owned economics. Sometimes we say cooperative economics, but that's not strong enough. We say family-centered economics or group-owned economics. So when we pool our money, invest in for-profit businesses that we own collectively, and when those businesses mature, not only will they empower or can they empower the community, but they can empower the families and individuals who are part of that collective. So collective ownership of the business sector in our community is absolutely necessary. I don't begrudge a brother who wants to go into, or sister who wants to go into business for themselves. We need that. But that alone will never equal power. It has to be mutually owned. Yes.
How do we take how do we take back our community?
Brick by brick.
Yeah, brick by
brick. Every brick is an enterprise that's owned by the families in the community. And what we look forward is a tipping point. When the saturation of group-owned businesses reach a level where the people in the community and the people outside of the community know that that's our turf. And there's no doubt about it. And in the minds and in the spirits of our young people, they know it too.
What are the core things that we need to really, like, you know, keep us away from some of the attitudes we have or the behaviors that we have to support businesses because we need things that they provide? What are some of those things that we need?
The key thing is ownership. You got to own it. In other words, it's not enough for you to teach me to support you, or for me to be taught to support you. I got to own it. In other words, what's in it for me is that it's mine. So group ownership is the key. Ownership, but group ownership is the key.
Is there anything in particular that we should be owning, that we should seek to own? Like, what would be the most important thing to own right now?
We should own every productive element of the community. Obviously, we got to feed ourselves, house ourselves, clothe ourselves, educate ourselves. So every institution that's tied to one of the basic needs in life, we should own vertically. We should own from the ground all the way. Black hands united, in other words. Let's take coffee, for instance. It's the second most traded commodity in the world. But black hands produce it, but black hands don't manufacture it and distribute it and sell it. We got to take that industry back. Our brothers and sisters. And of course, the mother plant of the coffee is an Ethiopian plant. So even though that may not be a necessity, but the jobs that are derived from that industry are necessities. We need employment, and we don't need an employment situation where there's bosses and slaves. We need collective workplaces where we own the businesses and we manage them together, and we create a wholesome situation for people to give what it is of their creativity and labor.
What's a better incentive for us than money?
Ownership, control, and legacy. But if you don't own it, if you don't control it, and you can't pass it down, it's not wealth. So the money, well, money is a tool. It's a byproduct of human production. So it's not the Benjamins. It's what generates the tangible wealth that is converted into Benjamins later on.
That's what I mean. I want to know exactly, like, how can we incentivize ourselves and our people? Because a lot of people nowadays won't do anything unless they're getting paid for it. How can we incentivize people to do things without the prospect of money?
I agree that you should get paid for it, but you may not get paid for it up front. You may have to get the payment in the back end. In other words, if you build a society, an economy, and you may have to forego benefits on the front end because you know that the ultimate benefit is on the back end. So we don't discount the fact that people need to know that they will benefit from their labor. That's only fair. Now,
so we can use a number of benefits. We don't necessarily have to use the dollar or the yen or any of those currencies. We could give each other housing. We could make sure everybody has food. We could make sure everybody has health care, education. We just have to build those institutions and let them be a service to us because we need them. Not because we're getting paid to build them. Not because we're getting paid.
There was a time when there was no money.
There you go.
There was still commerce. There was trade, barter. And so we have to use those as well. So you're right. Now, I encourage people to go to our website, UsLiftingUs.com. Again, UsLiftingUs.com. And we chose that name because we know that nobody is going to lift us but us. So that's very instructive.
What's your name again, brother?
My name is Hekima Kanyama. Hekima, last name Kanyama, Kanyama, UsLiftingUs.com.
All right, thank you so much, my brother. Black Power.
You're powerful, brother.
Yes, sir.